This must be the place. Professor Houbier's house.
Looks pretty creepy. I'd been away from Paris and hadn't seen Nico for nearly 6 months. I wanted to celebrate our reunion, but she had other plans. An appointment with an archaeologist. Something to do with a Mayan stone she came across while researching a story. The guy who answered the door didn't look much like an archaeologist to me. I had a bad feeling about this. There were only 3 things I didn't like about spiders. The way they looked, the way they moved, and the fact that they lived on the same planet as me. This spider was big, mean, and hairy, and definitely not a native of Europe. I glanced over the books, vaguely hoping to find a copy of How to Deal with Poisonous Spiders While Tied to a Chair. No such luck. But I noticed one corner of the bookcase was supported by a loose block of wood. The bookcase was too big and heavy to move. I couldn't reach while tied to the chair. I decided to work out how to untie myself before exploring further. It looked like Nico's handbag, but I couldn't reach it from here. Maybe I'd been a little heavy-handed, but it was a question of survival. Of course, I was still tied to a chair in a burning house with no means of escape. With one mighty bound, our hero was free. Now, I had to deal with that fire. It was a needle-sharp dart with a flight of green and yellow feathers. That dart was sharper than a mosquito's business end, but this didn't deter me from getting it anyway. It was Nico's bag. It was a stylish little canvas number containing a lipstick, a handwritten note, and a pair of nylon panties with a large love heart emblazoned across the front. It occurred to me that Nico's tastes must have really changed while I was away. Well, they could be useful. The bars attached to the window would prevent anyone getting in. They also stopped me from getting out. It was a soda fountain, perfect for mixing with drinks or squirting at clowns. There was no pressure in the siphon. I guess it was out of gas. It was the box that spider had crawled from. I wasn't going to touch the box after that spider had been inside it. In the cabinet's wooden door was a very small keyhole. The cabinet was locked. The fire had taken hold and ignited part of the polished wooden floorboards. As I released the lock, something blew the doors open. It was a small metal cylinder. That cylinder was hot. I couldn't pick it up with my bare hands. It was a small cylinder which seemed to have exploded. The panties I'd found in Nico's bag were just what I needed to wrap around the hot cylinder. It was a small cylinder which seemed to have exploded. I couldn't think of a use for a burst cylinder.